Imagine a child so distressed he cries every day for a family he's never met. A boy who insists he belongs in a distant city and demands to return to a home that isn't his. This is the astonishing case of Titu Singh, a young Indian boy who claimed he was the reincarnation of Suresh Verma, a man murdered in Agra. Before he could even attend school, Titu was blurting out details of Suresh's life, details no one in his family could have known. His story would eventually draw police, researchers, and even international media, challenging our ideas about life and death. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we delve into one of the most remarkable reincarnation cases ever documented. It's a tale of childhood memories, uncanny clues, and a confrontation between two families linked by an extraordinary claim. Long before he could ride a bicycle or learn to read, Titu Singh began talking about a life he had never lived. By 18 months old, he startled his mother by saying, "Tell my grandfather to look after my children and my wife. I'm having my meals here, and I'm worried about them." He insisted he was from Agra, not the small village of Bard where he was born. His young mind was haunted by vivid impressions of another life. Titu complained that his village home was dirty and small, and that he used to travel by car, not by foot or bus, because in his life he was wealthy. He even cried to go home to see his brother Raja Babu and his sister Sushila, calling his own parents Gulu's parents, not mommy and daddy. These out-of-place memories and unsettling statements convinced his family that something unusual was unfolding. As Titu grew older, his claims became more specific. Around 4 years old, one statement stopped his family in their tracks. One day in 1987, distressed that his father was going to Agra without him, Titu suddenly announced, "I have a shop of transistor radios, and I was a big smuggler and gunda. I am the owner of Suresh Radio." Intrigued, Titu's elder brother and a friend searched Agra's Sadar Bazaar and found a Suresh Radio shop. They spoke to the owner's widow, Uma Verma, and learned that her husband, Suresh Verma, had been shot dead in 1983. Astonishingly, no one in Bard had ever met Suresh or his family, yet Titu knew his name, his wife's name, and even insisted he had 2 sons with her. Even more remarkable, Titu recalled the murder itself in chilling detail. He said Suresh was driving home late one night after work, honked the horn for Uma, and then 2 people with guns came running towards me and opened fire. A bullet struck me on the head. This account matched the unsolved 1983 shooting of Suresh Verma. Titu even named one of the attackers, a detail that later led police to question a suspect who confessed to the crime. In April 1987, Suresh's family came to visit Titu, curious and skeptical. When the group approached, Titu jumped for joy. He ran to embrace the widow Uma and Suresh's parents and brothers as if reuniting with lost relatives. He drummed on a wooden stool with his hands in excitement, a habit Suresh himself had shown as a child. Surrounded by them, Titu began naming facts from Suresh's life. He correctly named Suresh's 2 children and described family outings he'd never been on. He detailed the layout of Suresh's old house and noted that Suresh's car had been white. Most strikingly, Titu described exactly how Suresh died. Every statement was confirmed by Suresh's family. To test him, the men first led Titu to a different electronics shop, but he immediately recognized they were tricking him. When finally shown Suresh's actual shop, Titu identified a photo on the wall as himself, as he remembered Suresh, and even pointed out which drawer had held the day's cash. He noted changes to the store, such as a new showcase installed after the murder, that only the true owner would know. The family then visited Suresh's parents' home. There, Titu blurted out, "I am just passing through with these people who do not have a TV, a car, a video. I will run away to you." He fought to stay with Suresh's parents until promised another visit. Over these visits, Titu made dozens of accurate statements and correctly identified 10 people and 4 places connected to Suresh's life. In the eyes of Suresh's family, it seemed he was their formerly murdered son reborn. The evidence piled up. Doctors noted that Titu had a circular mark on his right temple like a bullet wound entry, and scars on the back of his skull that could be exit wounds. In fact, the medical report of Suresh's autopsy showed the fatal bullet entered at the right temple and exited behind the right ear, exactly where Titu had matching marks. On top of that, Titu had a birthmark on the crown of his head that matched one Suresh had worn since childhood. Skeptics have pointed out that the 3 other marks on the back of Titu's head, the supposed exit wounds, remain unexplained, but believers see the striking alignment on the right temple as compelling. Family members noted that Titu's personality echoed Suresh's. Both were hot-tempered and fiercely energetic. Mills observed Titu threaten a shopkeeper with violence when asked to overcharge her, behavior recalling Suresh's own defiant streak. Amazingly, in front of Suresh's shop, Titu even demonstrated knowledge of a car tape deck and could operate a car's controls, despite never having driven a car in his life. Suresh's widow Uma was torn. She told reporters, "I know it is Suresh, but I realize no purpose can be served. We can't have the same relationship again." The idea that her late husband had returned in the body of a child was both comforting and heart-wrenching. The rest of Suresh's family was eventually convinced. Titu had so thoroughly matched Suresh's memories that they regarded him as Suresh reborn. Could this really be proof of reincarnation? Researchers have long documented cases of children with past life memories. In fact, Dr. Antonia Mills of the University of Western Ontario investigated Titu's case under the guidance of famed parapsychologist Dr. Ian Stevenson. Stevenson's team at the University of Virginia has collected thousands of similar cases worldwide. They note that in many of these cases, the children remember details no one around them could have taught them. At the same time, mainstream science urges caution. Critics argue that investigators may unconsciously confirm details, or that families might coach children without realizing it. The University of Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies has launched new research into children's past life memories, aiming to apply neuroscience and rigorous methods to these mysteries. Whatever one's belief, cases like Titu's leave scientists scratching their heads. How did a young boy have such precise knowledge of a stranger's life and death? In the end, Titu's story remains a baffling blend of evidence and enigma. A child, speaking with the confidence of an adult, convinced 2 families they were linked beyond a single lifetime. As an adult, Tauran Titu Singh chose a peaceful path, earning a degree in naturopathy and working as a university teacher, a far cry from the violent life he once described. Whether one sees Titu as the reincarnated Suresh or the victim of coincidence and suggestion, his tale challenges us to wonder about the nature of identity and the boundaries of memory. Did Suresh Verma somehow return to set things right? Or is Titu a remarkable storyteller? The cameras have stopped rolling, but the questions echo on. Thank you for watching this true story of Titu Singh. If you found this tale captivating and want more mysteries from around the world, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. What do you think about Titu's case? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the strange side of history.